Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Borderlands 2. Let's continue. So we're doing the Dungeons and Dragons equivalent. They call it something else, bunkers and badasses or something like that. So we are in a non-canonical world. This is totally fake. You kind of got the feeling that the Halloween DLCs in Borderlands 1 and 2 were also down that road, and that you really weren't fighting zombies. Let's see, where we sold, I think, all of our weapons, so we're good. It seems like this area is a pretty small section of map, and the previous area was a pretty small section of map. So unless there's a lot of small sections of map, I think we're gonna get more of an RPG fantasy style of gameplay going here, where we're gonna get quests given to us by people instead of bounty boards, which honestly the bounty boards were a bit of a quality of life improvement, and I think we'll probably do some more dungeoneering, I guess. Not dungeoneering, but I guess dungeon crawling. And we need to talk to the townsfolk first.
The Queen had gone missing. Maybe her bodyguard Eleanor knows where she went.
Okay.
The Queen doesn't return. We shall never see the sun again.
Sounds like we should go find this Eleanor.
So we need to find Eleanor. These guys are still in the Borderlands clothing, but they've gotten a fantasy spin to it.
Huzzah!
It seems like I could probably talk to every single person in this area and run into different lines of dialogue. What is this? Oh, it's just like a snow flowers in her hair.
Be wary. The forest is full of horrors.
So we have a forge over here.
The bodyguard isn't here.
Oh, whoops. Forgot to put her piece on the board. Blam! Girl looks like she got a problem.
I'd punch her problems.
I talked to her. In character, of course.
So Eleanor, Ellie is in slightly different outfits. I guess this breaks down to the idea that every character that's a secondary character, not a playable character, we might see them in slightly different outfits. Maybe they were... No, I mean, they probably weren't ever thinking about making a second skin for Ellie in the main game. That wouldn't make much sense. Be a waste of resources.
You look troubled, ma'am. Tell me how I may help you. I long for a quest.
The Queen is missing. She went to the forest to bring the light back to the world.
So where'd she go?
She said something about using the tree of life to undo the curse. That must be where she's going. And so your purpose became clear. You gotta go to the forest and help the Queen.
Okay, so that seems like every character, which would have been 6 characters at this point,
The Sorcerer's Tower is no place for heroes.
has special lines of dialogue that were recorded for this DLC. Whereas, particularly when playing as the assassin, you never hear him speak. Like, I've heard him speak more in the past hour or so than I did in the past 100 hours. Okay, so that's a quest. So we have a destination in that direction. I think we might as well run around. Like, it feels like it's your option in this. You could run through this DLC really fast and shortchange yourself, or you can take your time and enjoy it. And I don't want to take forever, but I also don't want to shortchange myself. I believe this is the second to last DLC. After this, we are done with Borderlands 2. It's highly unlikely, unless I could get like people that would want to play with me online and have extra time to do that, which honestly I just probably not have extra time to do that. Sir Reginald von Bartlesby, this is one of the characters in the main game we had to save. It was a doll, and so Tiny Tina is running this Dungeons and Dragons fantasy, so her doll shows up. He's got nothing to say. I'm looking for Cult of the Vault symbols. So we're gonna look for pumpkins, we're gonna look for Cult of the Vault symbols, we're gonna try to see why, like, when we look at this map, it's just a lot of this section that hasn't opened up. But before we go too far, I want to come back this direction, because there is this under section. Like, effectively this is a fantasy version of Sanctuary, where Sanctuary flew off into the sky and left a big hole in the ground. Didn't know I could smash pumpkins, so I'm not sure if there were any pumpkins to smash elsewise. I think if there was a pumpkin I would have tried to smash it. Not that I've ever done that in real life, but in video game world. See, so I bet this is a cave that we'll enter at some point. That'd be my guess. So that's one entrance to a cave. Imagine we'll be given several quests designed around the idea of acquiring items or killing monsters. So we have an inn here that will probably never actually be allowed to enter the building. For Borderlands 3, an argument certainly could be made that you should be allowed to go inside of buildings, but that doesn't speed up or improve the gameplay in any way. So if you were going to do something like that, it'd probably be a lot of work, and you almost certainly would want to introduce destructible environments. What if that's some kind of Easter egg? Because if it was a case that you could go inside of buildings or shoot bullets through the walls of buildings, that would be a lot more first-person shooter friendly. We have Dr. Zed. Like, either these people are going to show up standing outside their buildings, or we're going to have to move the story forward. Still not really running into a section that's just exposing the map. I should reach something that says, okay, you're in this new area. A big circle of the map has been shown. The fantasy element of this too puts a weird twist on things, because any area we're in might very well just change. Interesting. Streetwise wharfs. It would be interesting if somebody came running up to me and asked for help and gave me a quest.
I accept only Seraph crystals. Go kill a Seraph Guardian, O Vault Hunter, and then we will talk.
So there's the Seraph Crystal guy. Well, probably not getting any Seraph
Nobody's
Crystals.
technically allowed in the forest since the world went dark, but the gatekeeper's a real pushover. Just tell him I sent you.
Adventurer. The orcs fight for whomever pays best, and the sorcerer pays very well indeed.
Nice voice.
Don't get eaten by a tree.
Now we've got another character banging on the wall. I don't know why they did that in the main game, let alone continued that in this DLC. It's annoying to hear banging. Let's see. Alright. Seems like we can investigate this. There's a lot of cranes. Not sure what the cranes are lifting or being used for. Maybe it's for these boats, these floating boats. So we're just looking around still, taking our time. So it's just a city. That's all we're really seeing. 3 more pumpkins to smash.
Without the queen, this world will remain in darkness.
So the storyline here is somewhat based around Tiny Tina coming to terms with Roland being dead, but it runs a problem just storyline wise that Angel is dead also. She died basically seconds before Roland did. Or at least we think she's dead. We're fairly certain she's dead. I mean, either one of those characters could easily come back. But nobody cares that Angel is dead, except for Handsome Jack, who is her father. But as a player, I should totally care that Angel is dead, because Angel was the guiding force of Borderlands 1, and I'm already not super happy that they shifted her into being, or at least seeming like, a bad guy in Borderlands 2 for a while. So it will affect, I suppose, the Borderlands 3 experience, because you're not likely to have another character who's going to just magically show up and tell you what to do and where to go. Let's see. So yeah, I am interesting. Look at these barrels. He got knocked off the edge, but he was floating. Yeah, I don't know what those first couple hours of Borderlands 3 would be like. Either you bring back like the Firehawk or Mordecai or man, I can never remember her name. It's like Lilith, but because they called her the Firehawk, that's what's stuck in my head. Yeah, you're either gonna have characters from the first game tell you what to do, or you're gonna have characters from the second game. And imagine if Zero, the character I'm playing as right now, was the quest giver for the new characters in Borderlands 3. That would not work at all. There'd be no conversation or explanation of anything. Do you really need to explain much for Borderlands 3? Probably not. Like, the ideas that are being propagated here are pretty well known, I think, by modern times. Even when Borderlands 1 came out, most people would have been able to figure out what to do. And it probably would be smarter if they said something along the lines of, press start if you want help, otherwise get going. Here's a gun, here's a shield, here's a mod, class mod, here's yeah, if we were to look here, if they gave you one gun, had 4 gun slots unlocked at the beginning of Borderlands 3, they gave you one shield, they gave you a class mod, they gave you an artifact, and they gave you a grenade mod. And if it was just like standard gun, standard shield, standard, that would be great. They probably shouldn't give you 4 guns to start off with, but why not? Why not all 6 classes of guns if there are going to be 6 classes of guns? Just start off from that perspective. Like, they could also jazz it up a little bit by potentially having it where the characters that... I bet there's an invisible wall that would stop me from jumping over. I bet the characters from Borderlands 3 could just accidentally crash on a planet and not intentionally be Vault Hunters to begin with. Because we really don't need that. Like a Zero to Hero story would be nice. Devin looks a little bit like Elvis.
Yes, the Queen went into the forest. It's too dangerous to go alone. I shall accompany you. Just 1 second, then.
Whoop, time out. I gotta take this. This Tina.
It's Mr. Torg! Tina! Put me in the game!
Okay, the gatekeeper is now Mr. Torg.
Woo! Raphael! Good to see you! Wow! So I'm a gatekeeper, huh? In that case, you gotta prove your badassitude to get past me. First task, blow up the village's scouting blimps with the fire weapon. Because reasons!
Okay. So, interesting twist there, because Mr. Torg, let's see, I don't even remember that character at all. Let's see, do I have any fire weapons? Acid, explosion, acid. Alright. This is a fire weapon. I don't know what you would have to do if you didn't have a fire weapon. And So apparently cell phones exist, and apparently Mr. Torg is a character. Okay.
Clips are too far away to destroy with gunfire. It's like a puzzle.
Interesting. So, are there any other airships I can blow up, or I guess I'm supposed to go this way. There's a pillory. Stalks. Yeah. Stalks. That's what they're called. So apparently I have to go this direction. Work my way around it. Oh, I see. See it now. There was 2 barrels that I should have shot. But don't worry, there's another one. I could also just do it that way.
We just destroyed the village's only way to see approaching threats. We had no reason to do that.
To see. All right, badass task 2. Go to the town tavern.
So, Mr. Torg would be a good character, I think, in Borderlands, so you just, as your quest giver, he'll just be super hyped and super energetic and fun, and he'll tell you to go do something without trying to make it be serious. Like, I'm way more on the side of Mr. Torg than I am Lilith, and I think that's the point here. Is that even then?
Wait, this town doesn't have a tavern.
Okay, you're at the tavern.
So, I guess that's why things are still not unlocked. Moxie, Grog, and girls.
The bar owner has a problem. Talk to her.
Hey, baby, I'm hung like a vault monster.
Douchey.
So it's hard to find and ultimately disappointing?
That's what she said.
Smack. That is what she said.
Moxie, I'm surprised.
Man, Moxie, new outfit, nice.
Legendary.
So she probably wants me to shoot these 2 in the face. How much would it cost, I wonder, to gamble over here? Like 2 iridium.
Moxie,
interesting.
Bright orange because that body is
we can do this.
Legendary. That's what she said.
Tiny Tina's loot explosion. 1 iridium back. Let's just waste all of our iridium on this. A dice roll. Was that 2 or an 18? Interesting. So, if you're running high on iridium, then you can just gamble it here, and I think the return would be pretty low. But I'm guessing if you get a high payout here, you very possibly are gonna get either really good guns or something of high value. Yeah, level 35 shield. It's not great, but not terrible either. I don't know what the best things are, but I also kind of assume you wouldn't run into too many of the explosions. Here we have Marcus, Mad Moxie, Scooter, and Ellie. Is Marcus the father of Scooter and Ellie? I never caught that.
Bright orange because that body is legendary.
Yeah. Interesting. So, quite a family affair. Let's go and talk to Moxie now.
Hey, adventurer. It's closing time, but these idiots can't take a hint. Could you throw them out for me? Don't be afraid to get rough.
Sure.
I'm hung like a vault monster. Oh, come on, alright. I'm sorry. I'll never say nothing douchey again, I promise. Bitch!
That is unacceptable! Chase him down! Punch him so hard he explodes!
Let's get this guy. Of course, I'm not punching, I'm swinging a sword. And chasing people down is not easy to do, since you can't really run any faster than anybody else can. So theoretically this guy would be slightly slower. I imagine he runs in circles, so I'm gonna just run over here and cut him off at the pass. Where is he?
Tia, this makes no sense. Torg is ruining your campaign.
I'm having fun.
Well done! You're now badass enough to survive the forest!
I'm with Brick again. Mordecai is too chill of a character. That's what he's been established as. He kind of doesn't care about too much other than Bloodwing. So he's not a character that could have been upset by this. And I guess they didn't want Claptrap involved for just the reasons that Claptrap can be annoying in general. So Lilith has to be the serious one, and that's not really what she felt like when I played her in Borderlands 1. She felt like she was having more fun and happy too. Again, Roland dying shifts the characterization of everything. I cannot remember where Mr. Torque is from, though. Like, maybe he's from the other DLC, and so we'll see more of him then.
This position is really uncomfortable! New mission! I want you to blow up the ocean!
Can you please get him out of our way?
Alright, fair enough. Okay, Mr. Torg, I banish you to the stocks!
The stocks? Awesome!
Anyway, I'm called Davlin the Gatekeeper. I shall open the way to the forest. You will not survive the horrors of the forest on your own. I shall meet you inside and serve as a guide.
So, blow up the ocean? Well, I tried. Can't say I didn't try. So, Chapter 1 starts, and it looks like the game has severely changed. Where is he? I thought he would have been in the stocks. Alright. So it's decided to stop holding our hand a little bit. Now we can run around and get some of these side quests. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these side quests are simple things like kill 10 skeletons, collect 10 skeleton eyes or something like that.
Wanna help me out?
Alright, so we've got 2 quests here.
Times are tough, sugar. Ever since the sorcerer cast his Crumpocalypse spell, we've been running awful low on food. If you spot any crumpets, be a doll and grab them, would you?
Wait, we can only bring the town crumpets? Tina, you know there are like other kinds of food, right? You haven't seriously been living on just crumpets for the last few years, have you?
I do not understand the question.
That's pretty funny.
I've got just the thing for you.
So here's a critical fail. Here's a freebie for you.
Thanks again for taking care of those numbskulls. I left a gun for you, kinda sorta nearby. Feel free to grab it, honey bear.
Kinda sorta nearby. Alright. Let's come over here and talk to more people.
You're gonna like this one. I got a problem. I'm supposed to be guarding this here town, but I ain't got any armor. Could you head to the forest and find me something that'll protect all this beautiful girth?
Okay, she needs some armor. Here he is in the stocks.
Get pumped!
Men belong in the gym.
Alright, I got a sweet-ass quest for you. First...
Torg, why are you even playing? We all know you aren't actually interested in nerdy stuff, muscle boy.
What? I can't like geek stuff just because I take care of my body? Discrimination!
Can we get rid of this phony already?
Ladies, I have an idea. Adventurers, you must find the 3 hidden questions of true geekiness. Torg, if you can answer my nerdy questions 3, then a part of this game you shall be.
He's a fake geek guy. Okay. And we've got another quest over here. We're just trying to be efficient with our time, so I don't want to run around. Let's see. Let's talk to this guy. A brain teaser for thee. More quests and brain teasers would be interesting in Borderlands 3 in general, instead of to break up the large amount of shooting, first-person shooting you do.
You see Sir Reginald von Bartlesby, aristocrat and riddlemeister. If you can solve one of his brain teasers, you'll get a reward.
Well met, adventurers. I have a riddle for you. I am everyone and no one. Everywhere, nowhere. What do you call me?
Everybody roll your insight stat to see if you can solve that riddle.
I shall repeat the riddle. I am everyone and no one.
Brick, don't slam your dice onto the board. You broke Tina's figurine.
Whoops.
You won. Yay.
Everyone and no one, everywhere and nowhere. What can I be? The letter E is what I'm guessing there. In case you're wondering, the answer starts with a D and rhymes with Shark Man. Dark Man? Dorkman? Discman? I have no idea. I have no idea what the answer to this is. So either this is a difficult riddle that I'm not getting, or I'm just really stupid and not getting it. A dark man. The shadow. Like, maybe it's supposed to be like a Batman reference, but it's not saying directly Batman.
So what was the answer to the riddle?
I don't
There's a gun over here. Or a shield. So yeah, that's... We're having fun with this. Playing with all the tropes. Alright, so... As for the shield, it's not really any better than what I've got. Okay. So quests that are in... Are we in Flamelock Refuge? We've got something there. And we've got something here, so let's do this. In all fairness, there might be instances where we would come back and do this stuff anyways. So it's possible we're gonna waste our time. Can I walk over here? At the risk of falling to my death. Apparently that's what they meant for me to do. That's cool. We definitely need more of this in Borderlands 3. Walking on ropes. Actual quest demanding it out of you. You can jump rather well and move rather fast in this game. It's fluid movement. It's I'm not expecting a Mirror's Edge-esque parkour movement for a game like this. So it's kind of surprising that they don't put more use into it. Like you can also not do any jumping or platforming and still manage to play the game pretty well. Let's see. Now there's a challenge to kill spiders, so this is probably the shotguns or a rocket launcher would be helpful for these guns, those types of enemies. So last crumpets are... Where is this?
Excellent.
There we go, we shot them all. There's a... Oh, this is just this. Alright, that's the shop they're talking about. Look up there. Thought maybe there was a item of import. Yeah. So apparently this is all Tiny Tina has been eating for the last few years since her parents were killed.
What is a crumpet anyway?
It is a griddle cake made from flour and yeast, traditionally eaten with butter. All I ever eat, son.
Ever? Seriously? You should literally be dead.
No, dog! I gotta live forever!
Collect the crumpets in the docks of little importance, which would be back in that direction. I don't think there's enough reason to do that right now. So instead, let's come over this way and see if we can. Let's see. So we're gonna find the first question, I guess, which oddly seems to revolve around me shooting things. Let's switch this down to this. Right. There's a question there. Am I supposed to just jump out? Alright, let's just jump out. And not fall to our death, please. And we fell to our death. So, I'm not... Tina is a forgiving God. There's another $70,000 lost. Like, how in the world are you going to save up to $3 million when a single death is going to take you back, I bet, somewhere between $150,000 to $300,000? So I'm guessing the idea here is to jump on the ship and then jump off. And then after you're on the ship for a little bit, I'm gonna have to jump off again. I think this is the right one to jump off on. Guess we can do this. And so here's the first
You have
quest.
found the first geeky question. Mr. Torg, in the Echo Show Space Journey in Space, what color shirt denoted that a crew member was likely to be eaten by Thrag?
Red.
Correct! On to the next question, adventurers.
Why are you testing me on this stuff again?
Because you're a muscly guy. We gotta make sure you're not faking geekhood just because it's trendy.
I could go into a long conversation, frankly, about how geekdom and nerddom, which are slightly different, have drastically changed over the last few decades, and it really has, in my opinion, been overrun by a large number of people who are just now enjoying the things that geeks and nerds enjoyed without perhaps paying their dues or suffering the ostracism that old school geeks and nerds had to deal with. It used to very much not be considered a good thing to be called a geek and a nerd. Now they've particularly become the majority, and then sometimes become the bullies. Being a geek and nerd used to kind of also come with getting bullied by what used to be called the jocks. Inherently, I hope the new generations, and I think they are just a little bit more well-rounded, and they don't define themselves by such simplistic, dumb generalizations, and so it's perfectly fine for in future generations to be in the sports and video games and computers and science and math and everything else. Seriously? Wow. So we have a straight up thief chase quest that won't let me shoot him. So alright, so we're supposed to melee him. And he has like an acid attack he's doing. Yeah, we totally need more of this. See, if you compare Borderlands to like the Assassin's Creed series, like where there's a ridiculous amount of extra stuff you're doing, things like this could be like really nice.
Question 2. In the Echo Book series King of Jewelry, the rightful king needed to reforge his broken blank.
Sword!
Correct! On to the final question.
So these are like...
Man, you guys are being
Thanks,
super
science. I'm not stuck in a dwarven mind.
Look, when I was a kid,
You
boys
know what
mocked
I
me for
love
2
about this
reasons.
village?
My tattoos and
Not
bunkers
as
and
much
badasses. I suffered for my geekiness. You don't get to invade my culture just because it's cool right now.
Holy stack suck! Repressed anger much?
I mean, it's true. Like, this is the entire argument being played out in the game. And yeah, the older generations are just gonna have to learn to let it go and realize that and I think eventually everybody will, because the geeks and nerds of the old days that were bullied now have gone on to have their own kids, and they just want to see their children enjoy what they enjoy and not be bullied by it, and that's pretty much it. So this is really just a footnote in history more than anything else. And here's a red shirt skeleton.
Last question. In the 23rd episode of the 15th season of Blue Box Adventures, what is the name of the ship that abducts the Blue Box?
I don't know.
Ooh, bad luck, Torg. Looks like you're not a real geek after all.
It's Doctor Who reference.
I'm just interested in sci-fi and fantasy and unicorns and... Why can't I be part of your game?
Oh. Wow, I kind of feel like a dick.
Me too.
Torg, I'm sorry. You could totally join our game. You can give out side quests in town or something.
All right! You guys sure are the best. Where my mama didn't name me Mr. Torg!
Wait, your first name is Mr. Torg? What's your last name?
Flexington!
Level 2 VHLFG. Bring a sniper rifle.
Quest time, Humpadum! A dangerous monster whom you should kill is hiding out nearby. End of quest briefing!
So, alright. This is another quest going for the Immortal Woods, which is different than the forest, which is different than the unassuming docks. I would also argue that Doctor Who fandom, since that last question was Doctor Who, falls into kind of a specific niche genre that's lesser known than, say, Star Trek or Star Wars fandom, and it really has always been there was no one true nerd or geek. It's more, oh, I was a Star Wars sci-fi or Star Trek sci-fi fan, or oh, I was a math nerd or math geek. It's been a much more recent occurrence at which there was even a chance where many people in the United States could even see Doctor Who, let alone be an obsessive fan of like Doctor Who, Star Trek, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons. There's just so many different little subgenres there. And let's be fair, even like lesser known geekdoms, like being into My Little Pony, you know, is still expanding and growing. Or being into anime. Like all of those are geekdoms of some sort. But in general, it's going to come to just hobbies.
Tranquility. Boring.
Okay, good point. Dang, now I gotta come up with a better name for the forest.
Interesting. I wonder what would happen if you could get over that. Probably nothing, just hit an invisible wall or die. Alright, so now we are in the Immortal Woods, which we have one there and one there, so they're both in the same area. And this is definitely a different type of sky. That's nice. Like, change up the visuals a bit. Noticed a little bit of a lag there as we saved.
I've got it!
Close to being eaten alive by trees. Interesting she didn't say it out loud.
Coins for bullets, bullets for coins. I shall see you soon.
So if I come down this way, wasn't there a path up here? I guess not so much. This kind of has a Wizard of Oz feel to it.
Damn! I knew I shouldn't have trusted trees.
So here we have a tree ant and Slumpy. Seems like corrosive works well enough. Seems like they're trying to spawn something, some spores or something. So if I kill this tree ant, do the other things die? They're like explosive bombs, but there's no way to get rid of them. Well, that's gonna take some space to fight those kind of enemies, so I bet we either are gonna run into larger open areas, or we're going to not fight too many of those. We didn't find all the Cult of the Vault symbols. I hear sounds, but...
You find a jewel on the ground. Maybe the queen left it to mark her trail.
Then we should follow the jewels. They'll lead us right to her.
Yeah, what Big Lily style said. Just stick to the main road and you'll be ace.
This forest grew from the corpses of my enemies. Isn't that a kick in the ass? Hey, maybe
It's a
after I
pixie.
kill you, a fern will grow out of your body or something. People like ferns. You ever notice that?
So Handsome Jack is back.
Catch me if you can.
Hmm.
I'm faster than you.
It says catch pixie. Did I catch the pixie or did I not?
Go you.
Hmm. Seems like she's buffing my speed. Interesting. So what, I've just got now this character that's just gonna buff me forever? Why is it marked as an enemy then? Like, I hit X. I think I caught it. Follow the Queen's trail. And well, you know, this is cool and all, but it's kind of annoying too to get buffed all the time. Let's save ourselves some time. And I guess the pixie is limited. Which I'm happy for that. That would have been annoying if that was just the rest of this area. For the rest of this game. We're working to kill as many spiders and as many other characters as possible. Look at this map as much as possible. It still very much is a case of...
I'm too fast for you.
There you go. So I caught him.
Friendship and mass murder forever.
Interesting. So this is just the Siren character from Borderlands 2, who, like all the characters otherwise in the game, they don't really matter. Let's see. What was I using? I don't think I was using the shotgun. I was using the rocket launcher. But I could probably try the shotgun. Yeah. Bring it back. This kind of looks like I could jump down there, but I bet I can't.
You're the best killer ever.
So the only reason I'm catching these pixies are because I assume that there's some challenge to catching pixies. Something they want me to do. Explore side paths. Right. And from what I've heard is that the right is always a side quest and the left is always the main story, or traditionally it's been kind of like that. I guess it hasn't 100% always been like that. That would have been rather annoying if that was the case, but yeah, I don't think I need to really consider any of these guns, even though they're level 35, unless they're going to reach the level of a new skin at least. Yeah, unless they were going to be purples or higher. I still don't really think I'll upgrade it. How are we really haven't been doing any challenges so far. Let's see. We haven't seen any wizards. We've killed 1 tree ants. We're close to finishing level 1 spiders. There's an achievement for doing level 1 challenges, like all the level 1 challenges in Borderlands 2. I kind of assume that that is without the DLC. If it's with the DLC, that makes it even harder. We haven't seen any knights. We are halfway through killing skeletons. Mimics, we haven't seen any, or dragons, we haven't seen any, orcs, we haven't seen any, dwarves, we haven't seen any, and golems, we haven't seen any in a while. But I'm not seeing any, yeah, I'm not seeing any quests as far as Cult of the Vault or anything like that. So maybe none of that exists. Or maybe that's hidden somewhere else. Yeah, we're working our way towards where we need to go. Slowly but surely. Which one is the story mission? Apparently they're both optional missions in the Immortal Woods. Which is where I think we are. If not, we are in the forest. And we've kind of missed something. Interesting. So there's a story mission, and then there's a optional mission. They're over here. This is an exit to the Immortal Woods. Interesting. So I almost did the wrong thing and went right past the main story, which would have been bad. Well, it's been another hour. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.